Hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and now we're going to go ahead and see what these changes really meant for us. We're only going to be looking at general aviation today, but we're going to see what the difference is, if there's a difference, what performance changes we're supposed to be expecting. I will tell you it was just shy of 16 gigs for the update if you haven't updated already. I'm really interested to see what's going on. Now, there's a bunch of stuff in the marketplace that was supposed to change, some filters, things like that. I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to look at the stuff that's really impactful to the game itself, or the sim itself, I should say. So I'm going to come over here to the options, take a look at a couple of the settings and see what has been made available. So let's see here. We're running pretty much on Ultra all the way across here. A few things that aren't. All right, but this one here is the new one, the glass cockpit refresh rate. So this is going to be like your G1000s, etc., your nav displays, or your avionics displays, I should say, and how quickly they refresh. Okay, that was apparently it was a pretty hard hitter on some FPS systems. The other thing that's going to be changing, that I'm really interested to see how impactful it is the RAM and GPU load. Both of those were supposed to have been reduced. The overdraw on the GPU, basically pulling up GPU resources that weren't needed, and then the RAM usage in general was supposed to be slightly reduced. So let's see if that has an impact on it. I am not expecting FPS to be increased. I am expecting a smoother experience, less stuttering. I would imagine we'll still see some stuttering, or I should say frame development at mission start, or when we load the map in. But I'm hopefully going to expect that things are going to be much less stuttery as we start flying around the cities. Now, I want to test what's going to be under load, so we're going to go somewhere new today. We're not going to be in Tucson. We're going to go check out JFK. Now, I have never flown out of New York, so we're going to see what that's like. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just go right out of Kennedy. All right, so we're going to select Kennedy as our departure. We're going to go ahead and set it right to the airfield. 270 at 2 knots. Got quite a few guys up and flying around over there. Flight conditions, let's set it for daytime. We don't want to do a night flight, right? And this is actually going to be my first time flying out of New York out there. We are going to go ahead and use the Skyline and see what happens here, because I heard it had some updates. I'm also interested to see what the impact from the wind is. That's supposed to have changed. Turbulence supposed to have changed. Why did I do that? So I'm real excited to see what the performance changes are. Hopefully they're in benefit to everybody. I do have a rather high performance system. By the way, the Asus ROG Corsair, what is this thing? The Corsair Hero Wi-Fi, Hero 8 X570 board. We're running the AMD 3900 XT. 32 gigs of G.Skill RGB Neo. It's optimized specifically for Ryzen processors, as well as the new Gen 4 PCIe Corsair NVMe M.2. Okay, so quite a bit, some pretty significant changes. We're also rocking a 360 AIO now, the water cooler, all-in-one water cooler at least. So quite some pretty heavy changes there. Cooling has changed, processing has changed, storage, etc. So those are all things that we're going to take into consideration as well. However, I will tell you that I know for a fact I'm getting about the same performance as I was on the 7700K. My biggest reason for updating, honestly, was for you guys to get the videos out a little bit faster. That 7700, some videos just would take way too long to render and get generated. So hopefully this creates a smoother experience. All right, load time was supposed to be improved. Now we're loading a pretty large area, but I'm not noticing a huge difference between the menu and loading in the terrain. I did, however, I will say, notice a bit of a difference when we did terrain, or press start or press any key to load up the sim, etc. Let's see if this is also still addressed. Looking for second tier. Where's my flight simulator? There it is. Let's go set priority. Okay, so that reg key didn't seem to work, FYI. Alright, let's go change priority. There we go. So we're up to high. Alright, so like I said, I did expect, well, even that's not too bad. So let's go ready to fly. See what we get now. Alright. So I'm going to give it a second. Like I said, some of this I was anticipating. Let me center my camera. Let's bring up the nose a bit. Not too bad. I don't want to bring up the FPS counter because honestly, it's for me, it's about the experience. All right, so we're supposed to be able to remove the yoke. It looks like that can no longer happen. We do get our checklist now, or still. So let's see where if anything new's been added to it. It looks like about the same. Okay, so we can just click home here. That doesn't appear to do much. We see the engine rock now. That is new. The engine does sound a little bit different to me. Hopefully that's not just placebo talking and, you know, wishful thinking. But it does seem a little different. I'm just sort of looking around, seeing if there's any changes. Why is that off? Interesting. Let's try cycling avionics 2. Alright, well, that's interesting. It's back, at least. Alright, well, let's get out of here and let's see if we can get into any trouble, shall we? So is our parking brake set? It is not. Let's go. Is our flaps down? Let's bring them up. We don't need the flaps. There's 60 knots. Stay on the runway heading here. Now this is my first time rendering this area at all, so let's see what we get when we go to the airport. And these are on basically ultra settings. Alright. I bought it. I got it. Let's bring it up. Okay, looks like we're good. Alright, so a few frames less. Now, always remember, I'm recording, so that's going to take a little bit of the load off, or a little bit of the, put some load on, I'm going to say. It's going to take some resources away is what I was trying to get at there very badly. But, all in all, so we're up. Everything seems like it's loaded. It's certainly more than enjoyable. Oh, there's another one. So, I'm still noticing... Oh, there's a stutter right there. I was just about to say I haven't seen anything that actually stopped the sim for me. But again, I've never rendered this particular zone. Let me check my settings, because you know what? Alright, so we're on 100, we're on 100. Ah, see, objects level of detail. Let's kick that down. See what we get now. I didn't realize that was that high. I don't need it that high. Although that didn't have much of an impact on anything, shockingly enough, so I suppose we'll probably bring that back up. So that's a little low for me. So let's see if anything else catches my attention right off the gate. Take that down to 2x2. Light shafts. All right, well, let's test this, actually. Let's go bring that back up to 4x4. And let's test this guy. So let's take it down to medium. This is our avionics screen refresh rate. So the glass cockpit refresh rate. Anything that's on a glass cockpit screen, this is what we're adjusting. So now what we should see is the numbers aren't going to move as smoothly. Let's see if it makes any significant difference. So you can definitely see it. It's a little bit choppier if you watch the altimeter. Oh, here he goes. Now this is a much larger area, so I am trying to still keep that in mind. I know I keep saying that, but I want to stress that this isn't Tucson, this isn't Phoenix. I mean, there's detail everywhere, right? So absolutely everywhere. And with that being said, an average of 30 frames per second isn't bad. Now let's go ahead and try this again and see what low does. So no frame rate change that I can see. If anything, it looks like it made it a little worse. So I'm going to bring mine back up. I'm not seeing much of a difference on that. I sure hope that makes a difference for lower end machines, because I'm certainly not seeing anything worth writing home about. I am going to take this guy down and see what we get. That made a little bit of a difference. And then let's try one more thing that was suggested. And that was the terrain level of detail, I think. Let's take that down to 80. I gained a few there. Nothing bad. It is definitely the screens, though. If you watch. Turn. Maybe not. I can't tell. It's like a certain angle where the frame rate gets better. So I'm not going to say that there's anything groundbreaking here as far as performance goes. It's still not bad. I mean, it's smooth. Why are those on? Oh, no, 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 no. So are those part of the assistance things? Okay, what do we got? Piloting. Is it piloting? Navigation aids? What's on? Point of interest markers. Absolutely not. I know where the freaking Empire State Building is. Are you serious? Alright. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I'm not seeing anything groundbreaking. Certainly nothing groundbreaking. Nothing earth-shattering. At the same token, you know, I wasn't getting terrible performance before. And we could probably use a preset here. For example, let's go ahead and try just setting this down to high and see what we get. And I'm willing to bet we get some... I don't know, I didn't really get any gains out of that either, did I? So that's probably a map optimization. Well, certain areas, I guess. It stabilizes. So even then, we only gained a few frames per second. So yeah, my end result or end opinion here is the, and I'm still seeing some stuttering as we approach certain areas. So I'm certainly not going to say that the stuttering was greatly improved, which is a shame. I was looking forward to that. But maybe let's try. Well, no, I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I was going to say we'd try a different, smaller town. But, you know, I mean, we want to see what it does under load. Now, at the same token, I'm going to stress that my opinion of the sim hasn't changed. I think it's absolutely still playable. I think it's absolutely still enjoyable. As far as the weathering effect, or the weather effect or environmental impact on the aircraft, I do feel that's different. Again, just as I've said before, each time that we sort of get into this and I notice a change, it again seems even more natural than it was before. And I didn't really have a complaint with it before. So I would certainly say, what am I looking for? Developers. Let's turn that off. I would certainly say that there's definitely still been some improvements. I don't want to put the developers' work to shame by any means. And again, it could be just that, my system's high end enough where that I'm not going to be one of those ones who notices the difference. You guys may have been experiencing something, a little bit more impactful than what I was. I was at no point experiencing anything that I would consider game breaking, right? So anyway, yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say for you guys today. Short and sweet one. Just sort of wanted to talk about the performance improvements and see if there was anything that was really that I really wanted to point out. Resource usage. I have my task manager up on the other screen here at about the same as what I've been running, so no big change again for me there. So let me know if you guys are getting things that are different. Let me know if you're finding that you can maybe increase some settings that before you had to keep real low. That does look amazing. Sorry, ooh, shiny. Like I said, it's my first time flying over New York in this, so that is phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. And that's the other thing I'm trying to keep in mind, guys. This is a ton of detail. I mean, ton of detail. So, I'm not at all disappointed in anything that I'm seeing here. Absolutely not. The gameplay is still very fun. I would say 90% of the flight is smooth and more than enjoyable. Let's take it down low. Overspeeding. It really does look amazing. Pretty sure that's not supposed to be there. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. But anyway, yeah. So still looks phenomenal. I still absolutely love the sim. I think it's an absolutely fantastic job. And I hope that they keep improving on it. Until next time, guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Keep smiling, guys. Make sure that you're always finding a reason to smile every day. All right. Yeah, I'll catch you guys soon. Take care.